Greetings, everyone. It's Reed here. I'm the host of MOI. And this is the weird channel where I talk about all sorts of oddball, strange things. And hopefully you guys like it. So if you hang around and watch the videos, greatly appreciated. And if you want to help out the channel, hit the like. It really helps out. Tells the algorithm, good video. Also, leave a comment. YouTube likes interaction. Well, at least that's what everyone says. And you know, I'm not no YouTube expert, so who am I to disagree with everyone out there? So there we go. Now today, I've got a medical video for you. And I want to talk about wound care after things go crazy. Because taking care of a wound is really important. The last thing you need is to be wasting antibiotics because you get more and more infections. Now, I recently adopted a new four-legged fuzzy friend, also known as a cat. I rather like cats, and I also like dogs. The only problem is I'm immensely allergic to dog slobber, so it's kind of hard to tell a dog, no, don't lick me, don't lick me. No, don't jump up, don't lick me. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't throw a ball and play fetch with you because, you know, your slobber will bug me. So I get cats, and I like them quite a bit. And I just got a new one. Now, when you get a new animal from the shelter and stuff like that, especially the adults, they have a tendency to be a little nervous in a new area, not used to everything, not used to being handled. They don't trust you yet. You got to earn their trust. Be nice to them and stuff. And it takes a bit of work. And I got chomped because he wasn't sure about me yet, and I was trying to move him, handle him, get him used to this little room we had him in and stuff like that. And that happens. It's pretty common. Sorry, these bugs are just all over me for a second. Anyways, I got bit real good right here. Yeah, it was a puncture wound, you know, the two teeth got me, right? Now, puncture wounds are something to be careful with. They have some bad parts about them. A, you have the bacteria of the mouth, and cats have some pretty bad bacteria. Believe it or not, humans are also pretty darn bad on the bites we can give. We just don't usually bite each other like that. Although in SHTF, anything's fair game, right? Anyways, now the other problem though is a puncture wound from those, you know, deep canines or incisors or something. It drives that bacteria deep into your skin. And the bacteria that you really want to be careful is anaerobic bacteria, meaning this bacteria will happily grow and cause immense problems for you in the absence of oxygen. That's what gets into your blood, that's what's caused sepsis, and that is a very big problem. And we don't need to be going through our very valuable short supply of antibiotics when we can care for it and treat it. Now, warning, I am a person who knows absolutely nothing, and if you need medical advice, go see a doctor. Not me. I'm an idiot. Got it? Okay, good. Now, what you do on these is, like when you get that, you clean it out as best you can immediately. Now, it's going to scab over at night and such, and then the next day, guess what you get to do? Rip off the scab. I know. What the heck are you talking about, Reed? Well, there's a good chance you have missed bacteria. Your immune system's starting to work on it, starting to get after it. So you take the scab off, you open it up, and you don't squeeze it, but you gotta pull outward on it, okay? You kind of pull out. And the idea is to create an opening to let any bacteria and pus and stuff like that is built up to come out. Clean it out, wash it out some more, and then we're gonna put an antiseptic, like hydrogen peroxide, you know, get it in there and let it kill the bacteria and keep it clean. You're gonna do this several times, all right? And now, right here, I don't have any infections. Now, poor Lee, she's also been chomped several times by the poor little guy. Now, he's turning out to be a real good friend. I'll throw a nice picture up of him, of just relaxing with me. But when he gets upset, he's still like, I don't know to trust you yet. But she's gotten chomped too. Well, she didn't get her wounds clean enough. She got an infection. We had to use some antibiotics. It's nice having antibiotics for that sort of purpose. But in SHTF, if we can minimize the use of our antibiotics, that's a big win, right? Now, I also got chomped real good over here. So we'll bring this in and you guys can take a look. Now this one, I've cleaned up once already, but need to take a look again. Like I said, you're gonna do this a couple days, about 3 or 4 sometimes even, so several days. Now if you're squeamish, look away. I gotta tear this open and get at it. Let's see what we got. Now I'm pulling apart on this so I can keep an eye and see if I see any signs of pus coming through. That's what I'm looking for here. And it's looking good. And we'll get some disinfectant in here. Yes, it stings, it hurts, but pain is for the weak. That's a line from an old video game you guys can laugh at. And we'll let that clean up. So this is gonna look good. Now, yesterday, when I went at this, I got all sorts of green goo pus out of the darn thing. It was well on its way to be very infected. Now, the other thing to do, though, is the first day, clean it out, so like that. Now, the second day, when you go at it, you want to pull off a lot of the skin right around the bite. Problem is the bacteria kind of crawls up under part of the skin and nearby area. So you're going to need to open the wound up further so you can bring out those little crevices and stuff like that and get them exposed to the oxygen, which prevents this bacteria from growing. And that is key, all right? Yes, it's not fun. Yes, it's kind of gross. Yes, if you have a problem with blood, you're probably going to go, ugh. That's why Lee has me do these things, because she's like, no, I don't like blood. Don't ask about when she has to get blood drawn. It's an interesting adventure, to put it mildly, right? But getting this opened up, tearing it out, really helpful. Now your body's ability to clot, stop the bleeding and that is very helpful, very effective. Well, the problem is when you're talking about deep puncture wounds, it actually kind of hampers you. Trapping this bacteria inside the wound is what leads to very, very dangerous, very nasty infections. So you need to go at it a bit. And sometimes I kind of wonder if it's why wounds often itch so much, is it's your body's like, okay, the bleeding stopped, it's starting to heal a bit, it itches. Well, scratch all that off. If there's anything infection there, get it out, right? I've often wondered that, if that's like an instinct of why things itch so darn bad when they're healing, that you instinctively scratch off scabs and everything else. Strange thoughts I have. But you see what I'm getting at there, right? And you can do this for a lot of things. Now, the other thing to be aware of on puncture wounds is they usually have a lot of pressure from the animal, or other things can happen, step on something sharp. They put pressure in there. You're gonna bruise, like especially if it's on a muscle, bruise the muscle, and it's gonna hurt quite a bit. And the other thing is the body's response is to also swell up. Just because it swelled up some does not mean instant bad infection. It swells up a lot, well, that's something to worry about. Now, the other thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna watch for swelling and a consistent puffiness and redness around there. That's signs of possible infection. The other thing you're gonna feel for is it real hot, okay? That also really helps tell you if there's infection. Now, the other thing you can do is if you're having trouble dealing with the scab, getting it loosened up to get in there and go at it, you can put the wound, soak it in some really hot water. Let it soak for quite a while. The scab will turn white, soften up on it. You can get it off and go after some of the skin. The skin will soften up as well. Then, antiseptic, dry it off, and there you go. Like I said, I'm a guy who knows nothing, so this is just my experience with treating these sort of things. It works for me. Not to tell you, I'm not telling you to do this, okay? Just to be clear. But it's how I keep infections from really setting in deep. I've dealt with all sorts of skin infections plenty of times. Like, one of the other things you can watch out for and stuff like that is, like, you're not used to having a heavy belt on. Like, if I have a utility belt for like a lot of tools like that, I've had them where they kind of pinch in on my waistband before, and I've gotten these really bad like bed sores, except they're on my waist from where this belt was pinching me. I didn't even realize it. Then you end up with this giant infection and all sorts of goo comes out of it later. It's the same thing as like bed sores, like I said. But we got to really watch it in SHTF. Now, the other thing that's very important, bathing, okay? There are some channels out there that talk about how, oh, we're living an off-grid lifestyle and all this stuff. You don't need to bathe very often. Once a week's good enough. Well, okay, if you are not already used to that, okay, your body's ability to deal with the bacteria that's on your skin may not be very good. So if you're getting just now in SHTF, things are going crazy, we're doing all this work, and you're getting cuts, scrapes, and everything else, you are going to fester the bacteria that's happily feeding off your sweat and everything else into an open wound. It can get in there and just happily go to town, all sorts of stuff. Bathing and keeping yourself clean is a really good priority to make certain you don't suffer a nasty infection that has to get treated with super valuable antibiotics. Now, I want to shout out a prepper here. He just recently joined my channel. It's kind of funny because I actually go watch him and stuff like that. Only thing is I can't seem to ever make his live streams. I like suck at like getting on with him. He's always like doing it when I'm doing something else, but that's okay. But it's Will over at Just in Time Prepping. And I like his channel. Guy's got a good sense of humor too. So go check him out. Link will be somewhere around here. And I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully this helps him out a little bit. I'm tiny compared to him. I'm a very tiny channel. But like I say, I'm going to keep mentioning more and more people, and I need to make more lists so that we can help each other together. Now, on the second part of the video, if you stayed along this long, I got to tell you a story about my adoption process of getting this poor little cat. And it's a rant against idiocy in the government. Now, what's interesting is government can work well. It can. I've seen it. It's like in my little tiny town, I go into the motor vehicle division to go get a license plate, car registration. Well, only the first time you do a car registration. But anyways, I think the most I've ever waited there is like 5 minutes. We're adequately sized and staffed for our size here. I mean, it's just in and out, real quick, right? Now, the other things that work really well around here, post office. They are super effective. I've never had major waits except like at Christmas. I mean, and some of the other holidays have been there a bit, but they work really well. Now on the flip side, government can go wrong, horrifically wrong. And like our animal shelter here does a great job. They don't also kill animals unless there's something seriously wrong with them or something like that, where they need to be euthanized. And they will actually, ship dogs out to Utah to help them find homes and stuff. They're wonderfully, and they're tiny. Now I was browsing around and I accidentally ended up on a thing about pets in the area. And somehow I ended up on this page for this cat that was at an animal control facility a couple towns over. And they didn't even give him a name. It was like 15304 and just a picture. No description, nothing. And it was a nice looking cat though. I was like, well, I didn't even give a name and all that. So I tried calling about it. And literally these people were like, oh, you just got to come up here and see that, come up here to do stuff, come up here and do that. And we couldn't get like squat for information about them. And when I was asking, well, what about his personality? What about this? Nothing. Totally unwilling to help on the phone. But since I'm a complete sucker and idiot, and I love my furry friends, I was like, you know what? I'll go give him a home. I'll go get this darn cat. So then we start calling back, hey, we live a couple towns away. This is over a 2-hour drive for us. It's a significant amount of time and effort. Can we come get the cat on Saturday since you're open on Saturday? Well, we only do adoptions from this time to this time. And it was like, I don't know, like 2 to 4 on Saturday or something silly. And it was like, geez, okay. Well, and I was calling on Monday, right? So I'm like, well, can you, make certain to not put him down before then? No, we can't do anything like that. We can't hold the animal for any person. No, I'm just asking, look, we're interested in giving him a home. Can you just please not kill him? Because this is a kill facility. They just kill animals, right? Can we come get him on Saturday? No. All right, so we end up taking the afternoon off of work, spending our time, drive up there to meet their hours of adoption. It was like, I don't know, from 10 a.m. to 4 or something like that. So we go up there in the afternoon, get there, and we've called back several times and stuff. And they said, we want to get the animal. We want to get this cat. We get up there, it's like that, and we have the carrier, and the lady's desk goes, there is absolutely no way you're leaving with this animal today. What? Well, apparently their law that they passed there was like, all animals must be spayed or neutered and they cannot be released out of there. Well, I said, well, has he been spayed or neutered now? And they're like, no. When you pay this, we have a vet on contract, and we send him over and he gets spayed and neutered. Now, okay, I have some issues with that. It's like, for people aware of this before, in other cities, back on the East Coast, I think New Jersey's been caught with this, New York, Chicago, I think, as well, as they would impound cars, and then they'd have like these safety checks, right? And they would find problems with the car and say, okay, you can't have your car back until you fix these safety problems. Oh, okay, well, can I have not my mechanic? No, we have a contract with a specific mechanic, and you have to get them done here. You can see where this is going. They got into a lot of trouble because you cannot specify, you must use this vendor to get this done. You can't do that. The courts have said that many times. Nope. They can say you must get this done, and you can get a certificate of compliance or something like that, Yeah, they can mandate certain things like that. But to say you must use a specific vendor, no. Nope. That has failed miserably. So I had an issue with that right away. Now, the second thing they did that was just absolutely wonderfully lovely was they said, okay, he'll get spayed or neutered tomorrow. Well, neutered, right, because it's male, right? But you have to pick him up the same day of neutering, okay? I live several towns away. I got work. I got all this other stuff. You're wasting my money today. We can't just come get him Saturday, not screw me over. No, you have to come up the next day. Well, what if we don't? Oh, we'll put the cat down, basically, is what we got the answer of. What kind of an idiotic place is this? Animal control, supposed to be about helping animals, taking care of stuff like that. No, this place seems to be intent on killing the animals. Now, needless to say, I got rather pissed off at this moment. And I said, bullshit, basically. And we marched our asses down to City Hall. And I walked up to the front desk and I said, I want to speak with the city manager. And that's what around here is, they have city managers or something like that. And we ended up finding someone, talking with this city attorney. And then, I talked to us like that. And the city attorney basically said, well, there is no wiggle room on the law. You have to get the animal neutered. And I wanted to, just yell at him. I said, well, that's bullshit, because there's always wiggle room on the laws. So what's the penalty on this? If you don't comply, is there a fine? I'll pay the fine. Or is it you don't comply and something? I mean, obviously you're going to need a prosecutor to take a case. Prosecutorial discretion, you could say, hey, because we want to help the animal find a home, we can just release the animal today to these people. We won't prosecute it because it's in the welfare of the animal, and they'll get it neutered down there, and we'll just send a certificate back for compliance. Went all that. But he did call and went back and forth with them, and they agreed, okay, we'll let you come get the animal on Saturday. But honestly, what kind of a place is like this? I mean, it's just like insane. And they have tons more money, tons more funds than my little town, and they do this bad of a job. They're just putting animals down for no reason, not really giving a damn. And the interesting is you put this place into Google and you dig through it, the reviews were atrocious. Oh, were they bad. But there's my lovely adventure adopting my new fuzzy friend, and why I continually say we shouldn't grow government, because you end up with jackasses that push policies that have no bearing in accomplishing the real objective of helping animals and the community. Instead, it goes the other direction. They're hurting the community and killing all the animals. Drives me nuts. Well, if you stuck around for this crazy rant, I appreciate it. Love to hear your comments about everything. Let me know if you want more interesting medical things. Like I say, I don't know anything about medicine. I just have my own personal experience of how I handle things. Feel free. Anyone else has more medical knowledge, feel free to chime in, gripe, tell me I'm an idiot, whatever. But have a great day, everyone. This is Reed, out for now.